BYJC here. I have a few judges already. Timbuktu, Gambian bookstore. I didn't know this place existed. I'm actually here every day now.
And you
Get coffee, you can read some book.
and you fit the scenery.
I fit the scene, I match the scenery, in sync with my surroundings. Here we have some of my papers. I call this one Nanga Def.
Nothing there.
Back out. Shouts out to all my Muslim brothers and sisters there.
Are you from South London?
North Wheezy. Northwest
I know
London,
that.
that's Camden.
On your head. Don't go out there in the cold. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. But most importantly, keep the faith. Keep the faith. Anybody that's ever watching me going, Martin looks real. He seems like he just damn. I am, because I care what people think about me. It's like, I'm like, you think what you want. But I know that it's, yo, man, I came from being working the maintenance, buffing floors to this point right now. I'm running a business. My hat is HN what? IC. You follow me? So I'm telling all the neighborhood kids that anybody ever tell you can't do it, or if you believe in your God, but most importantly, keep the faith, because when everybody else will abandon you, God ain't going nowhere. Because when everybody else will abandon you, God ain't going nowhere. Keep the faith, because when everybody else will abandon you, God ain't going nowhere. Because when everybody else will abandon you, God ain't going nowhere. Keep the faith, because when everybody else will abandon you, God ain't going nowhere. Keep the faith, because when everybody else will abandon you, God ain't going nowhere. Well, television called me, writing papers and stuff, saying I'm a clown and who is Martin and he's a spoonist. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm just a guy on television that loves to make people laugh. Whether it's black, white, Chinese, short, midget, I love to make everybody laugh. So I went home and said, Mom, people lashing out, and usually I don't say nothing. I want to, go to these because I'm from the neighborhood. And my mother said, baby, you see the love. you know how it is. From the neighborhood, you won't wait outside the door. Well, when they coming outside, So So my mother said, nah, baby, think of the time you living in. Right now, you can't really drive down the street. Racism still exists. We gotta admit it. People, we don't speak to each other, and we are lunching. We're pulling guns. We're taking each other, and this world ain't supposed to be like this. This is all wrong. We fight and we think for the wrong things. Everybody measures success in having a car, having a big house, but success is measured in your happiness. Because if you ain't happy, it don't mean a damn.
I think it's testament to her impact that she had on us through the love, the hospitality.
Your happiness. Because if you ain't happy, it don't mean a damn. Your happiness. Because if you ain't happy, it don't mean a damn. Your happiness. Because if you ain't happy, it don't mean a damn. Your happiness. Because if you ain't happy, it don't mean a damn. But while we're really here, a man ain't God. God is God. And Mom said, you were named after Martin Luther King. You were named after John F. Kennedy. Your name is Martin Fitzgerald Lawrence. You were born in 65. I named you after a black man and a white man to show you there's two good people in this world that try to make a difference, bring people together. So I got to thinking, and that is true. So what did Martin Luther King say before he died? And this is when I got my image I started thinking about. Martin Luther King said, when I die, don't tell them about the Nobel Peace Prize that I won. That ain't important. Don't tell them about all the other, accolades that I won. That ain't important. What I want you to tell them is Martin Luther King trying to help somebody. And if I've done that, my living isn't in vain. So to all the people that would call me a clown, buffoonish, down silly, who is this kid? I walk with faith, because mama told me so. I'm Martin Fitzgerald Lawrence. You know, like me or love me, everything is good though, dog. Because Arsenio ain't do my show, and I was mad at him, so I got Tommy Davis, and I was like, man, play a talk show. I'm a dog, Arsenio. Then I started thinking, wait a minute, brother, you on TV, man, you make millions of people laugh. We can't afford to be dogging each other and not tuning in to you and supporting each other, because back in the old Hollywood, I saw black people in movie theaters damn near every week. Now I gotta wait for Denzel to do a movie, Wesley Snipes. It's like that's the only ones out here. We gotta put our heads together to do projects to give the consumers, people, what they want. And stop letting the government tell us what to give them. Give them laughs, give them entertainment, because that's what the dollar pays. Stop jerking them down. Yeah. What I'm saying is the powers that be know that you can make it all right for people in America. You don't have to have all these homeless shelters. Why? Because you can stop building bombs and build apartment complexes and places for people to live. You know? I believe me, I like the money that we get to make from entertainers, but then how can you argue about teachers not getting paid their money, man? They're teachers, my niggas, teachers are supposed kids so they can teach them and educate. Kids only know what you nurture into them as a child. When you grow up and you find out and you go, damn, I'm messed up in some ways, I don't understand. You gotta research and say, why am I like that? Because you only know what you grew up with, what's in you. If you had a parent, the parent was there all the time and taught you, fine. In my neighborhood, bro, mom was there, and she was the one that said, no matter what, boy, I don't care, put a skull cap on your hat, on your head. Don't go out there in the cold. Do the right thing, But most important, keep the faith. Keep the faith. Anybody that's ever watching me going, Martin Luther King, he seems like he just dead. I am, because I can't think about it. It's like, you think what you want, but I know that it's, man, I came from being working the maintenance bucket store to this point right now. I'm running a business. My hat is HN, but I see. You follow me? So I'm telling all the neighborhood kids that anybody else tell you can't do it, or if you believe in your God, but most importantly, keep the faith, because when everybody else will abandon you, God ain't going nowhere.
And we would come up with totally unreliable pictures of ourselves. But I put down what few facts I could, such as they are, to see if we could find out a little bit of something. And this is what I got so far. First, white folks discovered Africa. They claimed it fair and square. Cecil Rhodes couldn't have been robbing nobody because hell, there wasn't nobody there. And white folks brought all the civilization because there wasn't none around. How could the folks be civilized when wasn't nobody writing nothing down? And just to prove all of their suspicions, well, didn't take too long. They found out that there were whole tribes of people in plain sight, running around with no clothes on. That's right. The men, the women, the young, and the old righteous folks covered their eyes, and no time was spent considering their environment. Hell no, this just wasn't civilized. And another piece of information they had, or at least this is what we were taught, is that unlike the civilized people of Europe, these tribal units actually fought. And yes, there was some crude implements, and yes, there was primitive art, and yes, they were masters of hunting and fishing, and courtesy came from the heart. And yes, there was love and medicine, religion, intertribal communication by drum, with no paper, no pencils, and no other utensils. Hell, these folks never even heard of a gun. And this is why the colonies came to stabilize the land, because the dark continent had copper and gold. Discoverers had themselves a land. They would discover all the places they promised. They need no titles and deeds. Then they would appoint people to make everything legal, to sanction the trickery and greed. And back in the jungle, when the natives got restless, they would call it guerrilla attack. And they would never describe it. The folks finally got wise and decided that they would fight back. And still, we are victims of word games. Semantics is always a bitch. Places once referred to as underdeveloped are now called mineral rich. And the game goes on eternally. Unity kept just beyond reach. Egypt and Libya used to be in Africa. They've now been moved to the Middle East. There are examples below I assure you. But if interpreting were left up to me, I'd be sure every time folks use this version wasn't mine, which is why it is called his story.
Keep the faith, because when everybody else will abandon you, God ain't going nowhere.